Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Illumined Guru. I have your new moon in Libra forecast and energy update. I'll get to that in just a moment. Oh, the birds are chiming in. I wanted to just remind you that registration and the application process for my soul coaching certification is going to close on November 1st. So you have about a month to get your applications in and get that all planned and situated if you feel like that's a good fit. If you haven't heard about it, I am doing a certification in January, February. You need to apply online. I have lots of information on my website, Q&A, everything you need to know about the program. And if you are not finding what you need, just email me and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about that. So check that out on the illuminedguru.com. And as always, you can book coaching sessions or intuitive guidance sessions on the website as well if you want to work one-on-one with me, okay? So I'm going to pull some cards, and I have some channeled messages for you that are going to be a little bit more specific around the energy of the new moon. So if you've already watched the October monthly forecast, or if you read my email forecast, all of that stuff I still feel is right on. Like we're in that, those are the waves of energy. That's what we're going to be dealing with, going through. Those are the challenges. Those are the milestones that we have to kind of look to for this month. But this energy specifically around the new moon is an important one because we are being called into greater manifestation, and through the manifestation of what we have been anchoring in the 5D or thinking of in the 5D, dreaming of in the 5D, we are able to actually anchor that now into our physical reality. Now, the reason why we are poised to do that at this time is because of the up-leveling that you have all been doing. So I want to remind you that your healing is always a work in progress. And every time you think you got there, or you got perfect, or you got it all done, there's going to be another layer, right? And so don't get discouraged and don't say, oh, I feel mad at myself, or I feel sad, or I'm frustrated, and because this is how it is. There's just layers to peel back. And with each layer, you'll reach a new rung on the ascension ladder and in your life. So if you guys are wanting tools to like really navigate through some of the core stuff, like the core wounds, to clear blocks, to clear the fear templates and shift your beliefs, step into alignment, come into your power, and put that all in motion, that newfound alignment in motion, where you're in a state of trust and authentic expression. You can learn all those tools on my site, Vibe Up. It's vibup.com. And they're all there for you at any time. Plus, you get the opportunity to connect with your soul tribe, right? Every week, you can connect with other high vibrational beings. So check it out. Or if you're not wanting that type of learning capacity or platform, then you can work in private session with me or someone else. But do the work to clear the blocks, because right now we have such an opportunity. Like, they're really showing me a window between this new moon in October and the winter solstice for like rapid manifestation, really like on your mission in terms of meeting your life partners, and just everything's going to be really super sped up, where we won't see the progress that we're wanting or desiring, or if you've been thinking about this certain type of a life that you've been wanting but you're not seeing it in your outward world. It's because there's still some of those blocks that you're needing to clear a bit before you're going to be able to create that type of a momentum, okay? So get the tools and the resources that you need to do that clearing, all right? Let's delve into the cards. I'm shuffling the Good Tarot deck, and Stella's out here with me, so I may have to step away for a moment if she cries. She's in a tent. I wish I could show you guys, but I've got the camera all propped up. But she's in a tent, and she's getting fidgety, so I might have to step away and let her out. But I'll let you guys know in a moment. Okay. So overall energy for the new moon. is we've got a bunch of air cards, okay? So we've got the Three of Air, the Queen of Air, and the Nine of Air, okay? Such beautiful cards. I hope you can see them all. So I'm going to hold them up one at a time. And then I'm going to talk about what the messages are that are coming through. Okay. So for me, these cards represent healing from... So in some instances in our lives, we have been reluctant to take the next step or to leave something because there has been a certain amount of pain, brokenheartedness, investment of energy, right? And that investment of energy has felt like, well, why did I do that all for nothing? Like, why did I do that? Why did I do that all for nothing? And they're saying, no, you didn't do it all for nothing. It's all here for your learning, for your growth, for your expansion. It was part of your journey. But just because you're invested doesn't mean that you're supposed to stay. And this is where I hear many of you getting the cue. You're taking the cue to say, you know what? I'm okay cutting my losses now because I see that this isn't for me. And this could be any number of things. This could be with karmic partners, okay? And I do feel that a lot for many of you. This could be with living situations, okay? It could be living situations with karmic partners. This could be twin flames or falsely identified twin flames, right? People that you thought were your twin that maybe are kind of toxic for you. This could be like any pain or anguish that you're feeling from hurt, rejection, brokenheartedness from your family. But what I get is that we are stepping so much into our truth that we're able to walk away from things that are not serving us anymore. Now, I know you're saying, wow, didn't we already go through that during the eclipse season? Well, we did, but I think that we're still going through that. We're still processing this, and everyone's at a different level in their recognition of what is good for them, what their truth is. And some of us have hung on a little longer to get the lesson, to get the clarity, and because we've been stubborn, right? There's been a stubbornness. There's been a holding on to the anguish, to the pain, to the investment of energy. And what I feel like Spirit is saying is like the new moon is really a time to cut your losses. And that means broken hearts are mending, the pain is healing, and you're really having the courage and the openness to, it looks like this crown is about to be transferred onto her, to step into your crown or to put your crown on so that you can walk forward on into the next steps of your journey and really, really ascend. Because some of you have been held back by these attachments, right? And these attachments are, we were being asked to release them in the full moon in September, but you are really being asked to now step through the threshold with this new moon to create the life that you are desiring. Okay, and the Nine of Air, I feel like, is that spreading the wings. It's following your own course. It's following your own path. It's talking about all the growth and evolution that you've done, that it's given you the wings to soar. And it's through the clarity that you are finding that you're able to take the next step without even knowing. And it does feel like you have divine support around you. It feels like your angels, your guides are protecting you and pushing you onward. And it's, look at the transition from the wings being closed and this closed off to this expansion, this ready to soar, ready to fly. And that's what's happening right now, okay? And you are supported. And the Queen of Air is, this is about your deep your deep knowing. You know what is calling. You actually do know. Some of you have been having trouble reconciling the truth with what is in the 3D. But I do feel many of you are going to be taking action steps towards the truth rather than staying attached to whatever you've been glued to or stuck on in the 3D. I do see that some karmic lessons are being learned again, like you're being taught this again, so that you can really ask yourself, like, where does my energy need to be? This reading is very much what they keep saying to me is, it's like, where am I investing my energy? Just because I invested my energy over here doesn't mean I need to stay here forever. It doesn't mean I'm stuck here. And just because I put my energy here, does that mean that that's where I really need to be? And can you see that truth? Where is it that I need to be putting my energy? When we talked about self-focus, obviously we need to be doing that. But our energy also from self needs to go to our projects, our mission, this life that we're wanting to create. And if it's being sucked up by, I don't know, outside forces, family, toxic relationships, karmic partners, we've got to be truthful about ourselves, because there's no way really to step into this spreading our wings and taking the next steps in our ascension and having blind faith and trusting and knowing and just really knowing what's next for us and walking the path until we've released those other aspects. So those lessons may be coming up for you again. Now, how are they appearing at this time? Well, they could be appearing through anger, frustration, arguments, disagreements. It could just be through observation that you're seeing, observation of self and the ones that you're in relationships with, that you are, I feel like the choice is you're choosing self and you're choosing joy. And that's like where it feels like coming out of the heartache and turning to the new chapter, right? So this is kind of looking to the past, and this is kind of looking to the future. You see that? And this is where it's like opening up to the joy, the expansion, the fulfillment, the next page, the new life, whatever's in alignment for you, you're welcoming in. This also represents change, and it's talking about, they're talking to me about the fear of change. Oh gosh, goosebumps. Wait, can you guys see that? I don't know if you can see, I have goosebumps. The fear of change. Okay, so the fear of change is, I feel even the boldest of you, the ones who have been fearless throughout your life, the change makers, the visionaries, the ones that have always taken risks, even you are having some hesitancy. Wait for this plane, sorry. Having some hesitancy or some pause with the change. It feels scary for many of you. And that change is the change that's going to set you on the new trajectory. So those of you who haven't made the steps towards the change, or the right steps, the ones that are in alignment with your 5D timelines, because some of you have been making changes, but they're just so that you can continue learning your lessons and get the clarity and see things through so that they can play out. But they're seeing, what are the steps that I need to take in alignment with that vision that's in my head, even if that vision is vague, like that. Is my outside world matching up with what that feeling is here? Are you seeing glimmers of it? Because the glimmers are good. You want to keep walking towards that. But if you're feeling really separated from the two, this is where you need to look at, where's the fear inside of me? What's holding me back? What am I still attached to? Where can I release more? And also maybe just spend more time visualizing and thinking about what you do want to anchor in from those 5D visions, timelines, okay? This is a time, I always say October, magic is very magical. The veil is thin. We're receiving lots of downloads, lots of messages. people are coming into their psychic gifts like wild. Like, it's amazing. I highly encourage you, if you're curious about your gifts, to take a class or go out and explore them further. But beyond that, the veil is thin. We're being contacted by spirits. We're receiving messages, downloads, this shift in consciousness, the awakening, the whole thing. But even beyond that, we're really being called to set it up, is what they're saying. And they're talking about setting it up, and they're saying, as you dream about what could be, and you actually lift the limitations off of impossibility, where you've thought things were impossible, where you have the doubts, the fear blocks, those visions will become more expansive. Okay, that's where see, most of us dream or visualize with limitation. So it's important to recognize where you're limiting yourself and give yourself permission to remove those blocks and barriers so that you can dream in full color and full vision and the full spectrum of what you could create. Those things are going to be very easy to actually pull into reality now as soon as we line up with ourselves, okay? So this time in October is a magical time for manifestation. We're very, very powerful right now. And they're saying you're going to have to use your gifts a little more. So if you feel like you're coming into your gifts, you're wanting to step further into them, they're saying it's time to really listen. It's time to really step into these gifts. It's time to really allow yourself to be guided. It's time to really, really, really envision what you could create, what you want to create in your life. And that doesn't mean that you need all the ins and outs and specifics. Like, you know, let's say you were thinking of a certain house or a certain partner or a certain job. Like, you don't need to know what the color of the door is on the house or even what the partner's face looks like. It's more the feeling of it that you want to get caught up in. Oh, it's got this and that makes me feel good, and that person's there with me and they make me feel good. It's the feelings of these things that help you step further into the vision, but you have to give yourself permission to feel it all. Yeah, so I'm going to keep pulling some cards from a few other decks, okay? And those were kind of overall messages, and I want to pull the advice cards from the Ask Your Guides deck, because those always seem to guide us well, and especially with any challenges that we have coming up here around the new moon. But I definitely feel like new life is at the forefront, changes, and really healing from those things that have caused us pain, where we can step into the new. Stepping into the new is big. And some of the things, like I said, that you set forth right now are going to fully come to fruition around the December winter solstice. And I don't even have the moon phase schedule in my head. I don't even know, really, and I will have to check it for December. But there's something really powerful about winter solstice and what you're doing right now, okay? All right, so from the Ask Your Guides deck, very, very interesting. All right, so I feel like these cards, I have goosebumps. Again, can you see my hair standing up? I don't know if you can. Wow, these cards correlate to the good tarot cards, okay? So here we see deceit. And many of you had deceptions come through. If it wasn't the first eclipses of 2018, then it was through the second eclipses. Some of this was where you've been deceiving yourself, right? Feeling like the rug's been pulled out from underneath you because what you thought you knew wasn't what you knew, or what was really. And some of this is where we were actually deceived by somebody, by our twin, or there was a deception, there's hurt around it. This is this heartache that we've been trying to heal and mend. And I do feel like this is what we're mending right now, is because it's almost like holding on to the deception where we've been deceived, being angry about it, holding on to the anger, holding on to the resentment, that has kept us stuck. And by forgiving and by releasing and by knowing, like, hey, as I evolve, I'm not going to call in future situations that will have my blinders on, where I will be deceived again. I'm going to call in honest people. I'm going to call in experiences and situations that match the integrity that I'm in within myself. There was a piece of myself that didn't want to see the truth. This is where we must own the responsibility of that too, that it's not all on the other person. You have to say, I was a match for this deception vibrationally. Where have I been holding, put the blinders on? Where have I been self-sacrificing? Where have I been going into situations with my child wounds where my inner child is leading, but my adult self isn't seeing the full scope or full picture? Where did I not listen to my intuition, where I was deceived? These are all places where you can free yourself now, because as you take responsibility for it, and forgive the other person, the one who bestowed this upon us, then you come back into your power. Then you have the power to create new situations, new outcomes that are better feeling, that are a match for your more healed self, in which deceit will never find you again when you're more healed, right? When you're fully integrated and aligned. And again, if you need help with that work, you can come and do coaching with me, right? Because that's the type of stuff that we work on. So again, we have gifts. And what did I say? This is like your deep inner knowing. This is what I feel like our gifts is our inner knowing. It's exploring our psychic gifts. It's having fun with it. It's trusting. It's finding the joy and the magic of life when we follow our guidance, our inner guidance, and the messages we're receiving. Okay? And then as we flourish, as we spread our wings, we're being called into leadership. And this is it. This is climbing the ascension ladder. This is pioneering. This is pioneering this type of work. You know, you're light workers. You're here to pioneer, to help others, to lead. So as you step into your gifts fully, as you walk the new path, as you step into your mission more fully, you're going to be leading the collective. I just love how that was all complemented by the guide cards. And I'm going to pull some ascension cards, okay? And then we're going to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, okay? So I'm going to ask the ascension deck what we're needing to know or give our faith to, okay, because that's how they just said it. Give our faith to energetically in the ascension. Okay, I don't know why they're talking about faith, but they're talking about faith with ascension. So okay, so this is Ark Angel Retreats. Okay, so it says, one of the most effective ways to accelerate your ascension is to visit Ark Angel Retreats during your sleep. It helps to know where the retreat is, but it is not essential. During the day, think and talk about the Archangel whom you wish to visit. Breathe in his energy to prepare for your journey. When you are ready, ask to be taken to his retreat. Your Archangel will enfold you and help you with whatever you most need. Your guidance is to receive for yourself and ask for the light to help you serve the world. I visit Archangel blank in my sleep tonight. So some of you are familiar with the Archangels, some of you not as much. This might be a good time to research who you'd like to call in for different purposes. I do feel like we are being asked to call in the support. Remember I said this, like this is like the guides around us, our spirit guides, our angel guides. This is the hierarchy of the ascended masters helping us to ascend. We are receiving assistance in our dream state. So if you've been having really interesting dreams, I know I've been saying this for a long time. I've even had dreams over the past few weeks. Again, I have goosebumps, in which I have been hearing voices and messages from past soulmates and people of the past really interesting messages, really interesting downloads, things that I'm not attached to whatsoever, that people or situations that I don't even think of. And I'm receiving information, okay? And I'm sure you all are too. And there's so much information that we're downloading in our sleep these days because of our connection to what's happening intergalactically, because of how tapped in we are, because of your ascension, reaching the higher dimensions. You're receiving your messages much clearer. I highly recommend keep a journal by your bed and write down, even if they're just fragments of pictures or ideas that you have when you wake up, because these are really, really important. And you might want to look back on them and go, oh, okay, that's why I had that dream, or that's why that symbolism came in to find me. Okay? From the Ascended Masters deck, we have Horus. Okay. Interesting. So we have, you are seeing the situation accurately. Again, this feels like, it's amazing how in sync and synchronized these cards are today. And they always are, but this is just really cool, because I'm not pulling a specific spread and how they're guiding us. So it's like this, where you were deceived, where you are now seeing the truth, right? The truth and the responsibility that you need to own, the truth of the other person. Is this someone I can trust? Is this someone I want to be around? Is this someone that, is the trust broken? Is this someone that I really want to spend my life with, or that I want to keep playing out a relationship with? Is the karma complete? Have I learned the lessons for myself, and how can I release that pain? And they're saying you are seeing the situation accurately. So where you are seeing like, okay, this karmic cycle is, I got the lesson, I'm okay with it ending, I'm okay releasing, I'm okay. I also see through the heartache, I also see like where my part in it was. I also see where I can take responsibility and work on those aspects of myself. I also see the other person for who they are. Wherever I've been deceived, I'm not going to tell myself lies. I see the truth. I see who they are. I see the truth, and I hear it so loudly that I can make the decision to heal my broken heart and start in a new direction, if that's what feels right to me. Okay, so this, I feel like when they're saying you're seeing it clearly, you're seeing it clearly. When someone shows you who they are, they're showing you who they are. Okay, and then with that we have see the other person's point of view. Okay, and this is really interesting because this is coming in line with the gifts and the deep knowing, and I feel like with this is have compassion for the other person. You know intuitively what their motives have been or were, and why, and where they're at in their evolution. But you also know that even if you just allow the other person to be in their limited thinking, to be in their ego, to be in their fear templates, to be in that place, you can look at that with compassion and say, you know what, I was there too. I've been there too. But you can allow them to just be, so that you can move on and discover your gifts and step into your knowing. And I feel like this is what this is saying. It's like saying, oh, my Stella's crying. Stella, you want to get out, honey? I wonder if you guys can hear her on the video. I can't pause on my phone. I don't think I can pause. Let me see. I'll try to pause. Nope, I can't pause. So I'm going to just step away for just a second, let her out. Be right back. You guys get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry you guys. So yeah, so they're saying see the other person's point of view, and you can use your gifts to do that. So for example, if there are, and this is for some of you who are having resentments with twin flames that maybe you're still in separation with or having no contact with, because what you can do is you can ask, you can use your deep knowing, and you can call upon your gifts and ask your guides to come in to show you sort of their perspective, or show you where they're at, or access a 5D conversation with them to see the other side of things. When people come to me and they say, oh, what's going on with my twin flame? What's going on the other side? And I say, you already do know that. Have you been using your 5D tools? Have you been accessing, that communication and that connection in the 5D? Now, you may use a guided meditation, or you may just experience this through waking visions or during your sleep state. But in the seeing the other person's point of view, allow them to be. That's the message that's coming through. Allow them to be, and allow yourself to forgive and release, because that's going to help you to move forward. And with this leadership, what's here for us is come out of the closet. So she's reminding us that, I know it's scary to give your gifts, and it's scary to start practicing maybe something that you've had innately all your life, but that you've not practiced in this way, whether in a professional way, or putting value around your gifts, working with others more intimately with your gifts. But they're saying it's time to step out of the closet. That's how we're going to reach our expansion. It's like letting your gifts out, letting them shine, owning it, letting it come forth. I have to admit that I don't really use, I use the social media for the business pages. So if you want to Illumined Guru on Facebook or Instagram, we're active on there. But my personal Facebook page, I don't have a personal Instagram page. The cats do. But my personal Facebook page, I hardly use at all. I never post anything. If I do, it's just pictures of my cats or nature, or sometimes I share some spiritual photos or whatnot. But for the most part, I don't use it. And even just recently, I made a post about an interview that I did, and I said, hey, if you guys have been wondering what I've been doing over the past few years, because I really haven't shared this with friends and family. Most people don't know what I've been up to, and actually have no clue that I have launched this channel, a full-on practice, that I have a book coming out. So it's really interesting to share that now. And there is fear. Remember I said we're needing to get past our fears for the change, and this is how we're becoming leaders and stepping into our full confidence. And we're needing to step out of the closet with our gifts. It's like being intuitive, being a psychic, being a medium, being tapped into those types of gifts and using that to assist others is so authentically who you are. Yet there's still that little bit of fear, even with me, because of, oh, what will they think, or oh, no one's going to get this, or no one's going to understand. No one in that circle, my personal circle, is going to understand, right? I got my soul family over here, but those people won't understand. But the thing is once you're standing in full ownership of it yourself, I mean full ownership of it, you don't care anymore whether they get it or not. And you'll see people just really supporting you, jumping on your bandwagon. Plus, you're going to see a whole bunch of people, family members, friends, awakening that you never thought were going to awaken. Okay, so they're awakening too. No one's exempt from the shift in consciousness, and I have to remind you of that. You're going to be seeing people around you have rapid synchronizations, and there's going to be an awareness that gets raised for signs, synchronicities, even for people that you felt were more, common or simple and not on this ascension journey. You're going to see that become prevalent. Even elders that are waking up a bit more, coming more into oneness, wholeness, unconditional love. And others will be repeating cycles, right? I've got that going on with my mother. Repeating the fear templates, repeating the false masculine behavior. But then you get to decide, do I want to engage in this, right? Do I get triggered? Do you get to control your reactivity? So anyhow, the important piece for you is come out with your gifts, step fully into them, not just come out, step fully into them and then come out with them to share, okay, to share it. Because if you don't share, then no one will know, and you're not going to be able to reach or help others, okay? So sharing is worth that risk, overcoming the fear, taking ownership of it, okay? Let's pull from the Angel Therapy deck as well, some more clarifiers around this new moon energy in Libra. So you got these overall messages of healing the broken heart, seeing the truth, right? Allowing the truth to set you free, having compassion for where others have hurt you and allowing that to set you free. Okay, so we have the Ascended Masters and Goddess card, which I'm holding these up together because I feel like they do go together in some way. So the Goddess card is reminding us to express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. And that's what we've been talking about with your gifts, right? Your inner knowing, sharing your gifts. This is your divine feminine energy, the creation energy, the intuition, the knowing. And then with the Ascended Masters, they're saying powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. And I feel like this is important because there are certain people that are going to be in your path over the next few weeks and months that are helping you come into your creation energy, that are seeing the potential in you and drawing it out of you, or they're mirroring something back to you, or you're meeting spiritual gurus or teachers that are higher along the ascension ladder and who are going to help to pull you up too, because you're ready to emerge out of whatever's been keeping you stuck or attached to the 3D timelines. And then after that, we have the singing and dancing, which feels like celebration. It feels like you coming into the higher vibration, celebrating yourself, and really, really, this is talking about the magical power of music and movement, which I highly, highly recommend. It's a Vibe Up course that I have, Abundance it's called. So it's like how we call in abundance and create what we want through movement and music. But the message in this reading is really like, this feels like a time of celebration that's coming for you as you set yourself free, as you spread your wings, and as you celebrate yourself and step all the way into yourself. And we'll pull, I'm something saying just pull one advice card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, okay? So we're just going to pull one for this new moon energy. And it's deep knowing, okay? And I love that because this is what I was talking about here. It's like your deep knowing. You have a deep knowing of where you want to be, where you need to be, where you want to go with your life. You have a deep knowing of what's right for you. You have a deep knowing of what your gifts are and who you are authentically. And this is what this is reminding us. So the owl comes in a few times here talking about and I think the wisdom card came, oh gosh, it's hot out here. The wisdom card came in, I think, in the October reading, and it's like using your own wisdom, but really, really relying on your inner knowing. I think for most of us, we do know what we really want, but at some level, we're not admitting it to ourselves, where we've got the blinders on still. We're staying stuck at some level on some of these 3D things. But what they're showing me is around new moon, we're going to start to detach. Those of us who have struggled with this are going to start to detach from those things that have been holding us back so that we can walk into the new life. And that new life feels like steps that you're taking now, October 8th-ish. It's going to keep unfolding through the end of December, well, and beyond. But we're going to see a lot of the fruition of these steps come to us mid-end of December. So that's really exciting. Let's pull a confirmation card on that from the fairy deck. And then I'm gonna close this up because they do have a session in 10 minutes. I just got the alert on my phone. So confirmation about our gifts and our manifestations coming into fruition. Okay, so here it is, the Green Man. And this is always our creativity. It's taking the initiative, the action. It's the fertilization of the seeds, right? And they're saying, yes, that whatever you're fertilizing right now is going to come through for you in December. Okay, so that was a confirmation of that. And then we have King of the Dark Wood Elves, which is all about status, credibility, authority. And one thing I want to say is that this could be egoic, right? But I think as you all step into your true gifts, your authenticity, and you're taking the initiative towards that authenticity, you're going to receive recognition. You're going to receive like applause and recognition, and the stars are going to align for you, and you're not going to really struggle with these manifestations too much. And I feel like a lot of you are going to be really successful with whatever you're putting out there right now, which is really exciting. Okay, and last confirmation, the Yule singer, rebirth, feasting, joy. This is, look at this, holly. This is what I'm talking about, Christmas time, winter solstice. And this is, again, I have goosebumps again. The Yule singer, rebirth, feasting, joy. And this is what she's saying. She's saying this, by the end of the year, what you're putting forth now is going to be so happy. All this new life is coming into focus. You're going to be in it more and more. So even if you've taken a step or a stride towards it, there's still more that we're doing, that we're creating right now, right? So don't be afraid to create. Keep pushing yourself and letting go of the ego, but knowing that you're going to have some recognition for what you do. It's going to put you out there. It's going to get you out there. You might be putting your messages out to the bigger world. You might be coming in contact with more people. You may get interviews or status or fame or credibility for whatever you're doing, and that's good too. You're ready to receive that because it's in authentic alignment for who you are and what you really want to do and what your true gifts are. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Happy new moon, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful start to your October, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, mwah. Bye.